Hello YouTube, how you doing guys? A quick unrehearsed, unscripted, take those headphones off, video. I've come over to the allotment. It's Saturday. Right, quick hello to the Georgie Fowl Walker. Been watching your little videos. I've done 4 miles, it'll be. I'm 2 miles out at the allotment. I'm going to walk 2 miles back, and that's going to do me, I think, for today in terms of walking exercise. So I'm just going to, I'll show you the allotment in a minute. Bloody freezing, it's so cold. A quick hello to, get this right, Dave's allotment. It's a Dave ting. I like what you did there. I like your channel, Dave. I had a quick look at it. Watched a few videos right the way through, end to end, cover to cover. Must crack on, he says. We must crack on. That's a well-known saying. I like that. He's got a good few catchphrases. Well done. Enjoy his channel. I want to talk about my allotment whilst thinking about watching his channel. Can I just show you what's going on over here? So I'll try not to edit this. So I'm just having a coffee from a flask, my new flask that I bought. It's going to spoil it because it goes all funny, doesn't it, when you put coffee in the flask. There's my bag and bits down there. So no van. It seems weird when you come over and there's no van. What's even weirder is that there's no one over here, or at least if they are, they're hiding. Like I said, I couldn't see anybody. I walked through slowly, couldn't see a single soul. So title of this video: mistakes were made. Steve-O, mate, you made some massive, can't swear on here, mistakes. But I like next doors. I have said to them when I got here first, I like there. They've got a lot less flower border, or vegetable border, sorry. A lot less vegetable border. I'll try not to edit this one too much. So, mistakes were made. Well, I didn't put a membrane under the slabs. And that, I told you I didn't want to edit this too much. It's so cold. I made so many mistakes. Yeah, no membrane, and there's weeds coming up everywhere, and the slabs are sinking at the front row. All along here, the front row has sunk. The biggest mistake of all time was thinking that I could do it on a commercial scale. It's a cheese trait, thinking that you can do everything. I'm going to get up and walk around with my tea. It's a cheese trait, thinking you can do everything in a hurry. That's my banana skin that I've just had. That can go in the compost, can't it? Yeah, we cheeses think we can do everything. That's some gravel off the path. I need to rehome that because it can't stay there. But oh, it looks like a bit of fennel coming up there. It's not in focus there, a bit of fennel. Yeah, it was a disaster. Let's go widescreen. Yeah. Right, so it was a 100% disaster. I bought far too many potatoes and they were tiny. That was neglect on my behalf. I don't think I watered them enough. I went round, collected a load of bins, compost bins, and put them here, and it looked awful, so I've cleared them. They're gone. I've put them over the back so somebody else can have them. I've given one of the water barrels away because I've got too many. Massive mistake, Steve, back to it. I grew far too much, so anybody who's just starting out, if you're following my channel, I don't know if you are, but if you're following it, don't make the mistake I made of growing far too much. I mean, this is 33 foot by 33 foot square all the way around, so each side's 33 foot. So do the maths, that's a big area, 33 times 33. Don't try and do what I did and grow everything. And we went into In Excess, a cheap shop for gardening stuff, and we bought and we didn't know when to stop. I think shops do that to you, don't they, you know. But also I was going to say the neighbours. I haven't seen the neighbours. His building's blown over in the high winds. That lady's at the backs, I haven't seen her all year. I haven't seen this guy all year. The neighbours, I see them occasionally. They're lovely and they keep theirs really tidy. But going back to the point of the video is, don't have it like next doors. Don't have too many borders. So I'm going to cover it all over. So the first job is to cover it all over with the Mitre. I might, if people let me know in the comments, do you want to see that again on time lapse, just me covering it over, so I can record that if you want, to kill the grass off, because it's like couch and grass and it's just been a nightmare. Back to the crops. So this is a review as well of the year. Obviously the rhubarb's indestructible, that did really well. The brunner beans that I had here have now taken down they were ready to eat, and then we went away on holiday and we didn't come back for more than 2 weeks or 4 weeks, so they went over, so we missed all the runner beans. The fix on that is not to grow so many. I only needed a small wigwam full of runner beans. Parsnips there, I did them in pots and they went like that. So don't grow parsnips in pots, grow them straight in the ground. So pre-chit them. Again, that's something I can show in a video if somebody wants to see it, but there's another allotment channel I follow that he showed it really well, chitting parsnips. The cucumbers were here, they got swamped out by the weeds and the grass. I sowed a load of spinach in that space there, that square there, metre by metre, and it came up lovely. And then the neighbours' slugs and snails from there, all the slugs and snails came in an army. The Kilted Gardener commented, I think it was, you're just feeding the wildlife. But it did feel like this year, 2024, not this year, but 2024 did feel like I fed all the wildlife. So the cucumbers failed, they got choked out with all the grass. I couldn't keep up with the weeding. Cabbages, found out that we don't like green cabbages or red cabbages that much. I like braised cabbage and fancy recipes and stuff, but who's got the time for making those? Not me at the moment. Strawberries I need to rehome, a lot of it failed. So I'm actually considering whether to keep going, to be honest with it. I think if I keep going, I'm going to have to grow a lot less. I think a big mistake was to try and grow literally everything. So that's the moral of this story, is don't have your eyes bigger than your belly. I mean, my eyes were bigger than my belly with this one, so I might give it another go this year and try and cut back on the amount of veg that we're growing. Another thing is, don't have too many of these compost bins, because they're a hell of a lot of work, emptying and turning and all that. It is a lot of work. Yeah, so think very carefully before you start an allotment or you take one on, because it is a lot of work. I think I'm definitely going to be looking at low maintenance options for the allotment to keep it going. If you see what I mean by the patio slabs at the front have all fallen away. Let me know in the comments if anybody else felt like they failed this year, or if it was just the weather, or if their potatoes were small, because my potatoes were awful. I don't feel as if I want to plant anything that the birds are going to eat, like the brassicas. There's a lot of effort I went to keep the birds off, and then we didn't eat many of them anyway. I mean, we do like cabbages, but they're not our favourite things, you know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't be doing the cabbage soup diet or anything like that. I actually did have a really good tidy up, and the wind's blown everything over. I have picked a few things up, but the wind and the storms we've had have wreaked a bit of havoc over at the allotments. A shot of the Wimborne Minster from the allotments. I think I probably will stay and keep it going over here, but I've got a lot to do. I'll need to take that Mipex path up, shake all that Mipex off. I'm contemplating rotivating it, but they said you must not rotivate clay soil in the winter because it will destroy the structure. So it might be a case of just recovering it as it is, which is very rough, but just to recover it, try and kill some of this weed off that seems to keep coming back. Well, I know one thing 100% for certain: if I stay here, it's going to be a lot more work than I'd expected originally. The carrots, they failed. What went wrong? They got full of weeds. I just couldn't keep on top of the weeding. The warden guy, the guy in charge anyway, Andy, he said, "Oh, you've got to keep hoeing." It's like, Jesus Christ, I haven't got the time. I haven't got the time to come over here and hoe every single week. It's constant, all the time weeding. So I need to sort out a way of, whether it's the cardboard method or mulching or whatever, a way of stopping the weeds from getting all around me carrots and that. So a tough learning curve for Mr. Cheese this year. I say we're lucky down south, so this is what, January the 4th I think, but look at that. That's pretty solid. I was wondering why there's nobody down at the allotments, but look. Can't even break it. Yeah, that's pretty solid. My neighbour said in the comments last night, he said, you've got a good sense of humour. I think if you don't have, you've got to have a good sense of humour to survive as long as what I have in the outdoor trades, working outdoors, because it can be pretty harsh. I can tell you, it gets pretty cold, and it can equally get pretty damn hot as well. Anyway, all in all, this year was a complete bloody failure. So like and subscribe to my channel if you like this sort of content. We'll see how we do next year if I decide to carry on. It's 50-50 I think at the moment. It was a tough year, wasn't it? I think a really tough year, 2024. The weather couldn't decide what to do. Anyway, I'm going to wind this video up now. Catch you later, guys. Peace out. I was actually saying to James on the phone, it looks like it could snow. It's actually cold enough, isn't it? The sky's grey enough as well.